The large meeting room on Space Station Omega fell silent as Admiral Exithrax entered. His 4 arms were stiff with worry, and his scaled skin had turned a pale blue. The 50 members of the High Council watched him take his place at the center platform. Something was very wrong. Esteemed members of the Galactic Hegemony, Admiral Exithrax said, his voice deep and troubled. I have called this emergency meeting because of disturbing news from Scout Fleet 7. They just returned from the edge of the Sol system. The council members shifted in their seats. Most knew that Sol was a small star system with a primitive planet called Earth. The humans there were still new to space travel and were not considered important. Scout Commander Vrel stepped forward. She was small compared to Admiral Exithrax, with pink skin and large eyes that could see heat patterns. She activated the room's display system, showing images of Earth and its nearby space. As ordered, we monitored Earth from a safe distance, Vrel said. According to our records, humans should only have basic space stations and short-range ships. But we found this. The display changed to show something unexpected. Advanced space platforms around Earth's moon, and what looked like military ships near Mars. Their technology has jumped forward by at least 70 years since our last check, Vrel continued. And they have weapons systems similar to our Level 3 designs. Gasps filled the room. A Level 3 civilization could travel between nearby stars. Humans should still be at Level 1. That's not possible, said Representative Moof, a furry creature from a cold world. No species advances that quickly naturally. Unless they had help, said Admiral Exithrax, or a stole technology. From the back of the room, a tall figure stood up. It was Ambassador Krell from the peaceful Andoran people. The Andorans were known for their wisdom and their interest in watching younger species grow. We have been watching Earth more closely than the rest of you, Krell said in a soft voice. My people have had observers on Earth for decades. We must warn you all. Earth is not what it seems. What do you mean? Demanded Admiral Exithrax. Humans adapt faster than any species we have ever seen, Krell explained. They learn, they change, they take ideas and make them better. They are naturally suspicious and prepare for threats even before they see them. The room grew tense as Krell's words sank in. We believe they detected our observation ships years ago, but pretended not to notice, Krell continued. They have been studying us while we studied them. Suddenly, the station's alert system beeped. A young officer rushed into the room and whispered to Admiral Exithrax. The Admiral's skin turned an even paler blue. Impossible, he whispered. What is it? Asked Representative Moof. Admiral Exithrax looked up, his eyes wide with shock. A human ship has just appeared near our station. They are requesting permission to dock. The council erupted in panic. This station was supposed to be secret, hidden in a remote part of space. The main screen changed to show a sleek silver ship approaching the station. It was smaller than their own vessels, but moved with surprising grace. This is Captain Alan Bennett of the Earth diplomatic vessel Horizon, came a calm human voice over the speakers. We request formal docking for a diplomatic meeting. We bring greetings from Earth to the Galactic Hegemony. How did they find us? Hissed Vrel. How do they know our name? Admiral Exithrax stared at the screen, at the human ship that shouldn't be there, shouldn't know about them, shouldn't have been able to reach them. What should we do? Asked one of the council members. We must let them dock, said Ambassador Krell. It appears our warnings come too late. The humans are already here. As Captain Bennett's ship moved toward the docking bay, Admiral Exithrax couldn't shake the feeling that a trap had just been sprung, and they had walked right into it. 3 days after the unexpected arrival of Captain Bennett's ship, a larger Earth vessel docked at Space Station Omega. The aliens watched nervously as 5 humans walked off the ship. Leading them was Ambassador Victoria Reyes, a tall woman with dark hair and a confident smile. Thank you for welcoming us to your station, Ambassador Reyes said, bowing slightly in the exact way that was considered respectful in hegemony culture. This surprised the aliens. How did she know their customs? Admiral Exithrax stepped forward. We are curious about how you found our station, and how you know about the galactic hegemony. Ambassador Rice smiled. The universe is full of interesting information if you know where to look. Admiral. Behind her stood Lieutenant Noah Parker, a man with short brown hair and alert eyes. He seemed friendly, but his gaze moved around the room, studying the security systems. Next to him was Dr. Samantha Hill, who carried scientific equipment and looked excited to be there. We have prepared a meeting room, said Admiral Exithrax. The council is waiting. As they walked through the station, Security Chief Greg Martinez, a broad-shouldered man from the Earth delegation, glanced at a datapad. He had noticed something concerning: alien ships gathering around Earth's solar system. He said nothing but made a quick note. In the council chamber, alien representatives from many worlds sat in a half-circle. Some had scales, others fur. Some had many eyes, others many arms. The Earth delegation showed no surprise at these strange forms. We propose a trade agreement, Ambassador Reyes said after they were seated. Earth has resources you might find valuable. We seek knowledge and technology exchange. What resources could your small world possibly offer us? Asked Representative Moof. Rare metals from our asteroid belt. New music and art forms. Unique plant products from our rainforests, Reyes replied smoothly. And solutions to some engineering problems your ships have been experiencing. There was an uncomfortable silence. How did humans know about their engineering problems? Dr. Hill spoke next, asking questions about alien biology that showed she already knew a great deal. We're particularly interested in how the Krith species adapted to high radiation environments, she said to a surprised Krith representative. As the meeting continued, the aliens became increasingly uneasy. These humans knew too much. They negotiated confidently and got better terms than any new species should receive. During a break, an ancient insectoid alien called a Hedoth approached Admiral Exithrax privately. The Hedoth were one of the oldest species in the galaxy. We have seen this pattern before, the Hedoth clicked softly. Earth is what we call a predator world. What do you mean? Asked the Admiral. They evolved fighting for survival every day. Their world has deadly weather, diseases, predators, and wars. It shaped them to be always ready for threats, always planning ahead, always suspicious. The Hedoth's antennae twitched. They've been watching us for years while pretending to be primitive. Back in the meeting, Lieutenant Parker chatted with alien security officers, asking innocent questions that revealed he understood their weapons and defense systems perfectly. At day's end, Ambassador Reyes had secured remarkable trade agreements. The Earth delegation returned to their ship, leaving the council members worried. In their ship, the Earth team dropped their friendly manner. They suspect something, said Dr. Hill. Ambassador Reyes nodded. Of course they do. But it doesn't matter now. The fleet is in position, Security Chief Martinez reported, and our agents on their worlds are ready. Good, said Ambassador Reyes, looking back at the alien station through the view screen. Phase 1 complete. They've been worried about Earth being a trap. Soon, they'll learn just how right they were to worry. Officer Liz Coleman walked quickly through the underground base beneath New Denver. She was late for an important meeting. Her partner, Agent Peter Wyatt, waited by the security door, looking worried. You heard about the alien tech showing up in Chicago? Peter asked as they walked into the meeting room. Liz nodded. Third case this month. Someone is selling alien devices on Earth's black market. The room was filled with serious-looking people from Earth Intelligence. Their boss, Director Susan Lane, stood at the front near a large screen. We have a problem, Director Lane said. Alien technology is appearing in major cities. We need to find out who is bringing it to Earth. She showed pictures of strange devices that glowed with blue and green lights. One looked like a small box that could float in the air. Another was a thin rod that could cut through metal. Our first lead is Commander Jason Grant, Director Lane continued. He has been taking his ship beyond approved space without permission. The screen showed a man with red hair and a small scar on his chin. He looked ordinary, but his eyes were cold. Coleman and Wyatt, you will follow Grant and find out what he's doing, Director Lane ordered. 3 days later, Liz and Peter watched from hiding as Commander Grant met with a group of rough-looking men in an empty warehouse. He handed them a box of glowing devices. Sell these carefully, Grant told the men. Same price as last time. Liz took pictures with a special camera. Just then, her communicator buzzed. It was a message from Admiral William Frost, the head of Earth's Space Fleet. Return to base immediately. Investigation canceled. Liz showed the message to Peter. That's strange, she whispered. Why would the Admiral stop our mission? Maybe we should talk to him directly, Peter suggested. When they returned to base, Admiral Frost was waiting for them. He was a tall man with gray hair and a face that rarely smiled. The investigation into Commander Grant is over, Admiral Frost said firmly. This is a direct order. But sir, Liz protested, we saw him selling alien technology. That's classified information, the Admiral replied. Forget what you saw. As Liz and Peter left the Admiral's office, they looked at each other with concern. Something was very wrong. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, the Galactic Hegemony was making plans of their own. Admiral Exithrax met with a group of special operatives on his ship. We need to know what the humans are really doing, he told them. You will sneak onto Earth and gather information. One of the operatives was tall, a shapeshifter who could look human. I will find their secrets, he promised. 2 weeks later, Skatal moved silently through Earth's Global Defense Center. He had taken the form of a maintenance worker. No one noticed him as he placed tiny recording devices in important rooms. In one room, he heard Earth officers talking about a special project called Starfall. They mentioned hidden ships and stolen technology. Skatal moved closer to hear more. The nanodrones have collected data from 17 alien worlds, one officer said. We now understand their shield technology better than they do. Skatal was shocked. Nanodrones were tiny robots that could not be detected by normal sensors. Had humans been spying on alien worlds for years? He needed to report this information immediately. But as he turned to leave, he came face to face with a woman he had not heard approach. Going somewhere? Asked Director Olivia Chase of Earth's Secret Operations Division. Skatal realized his mistake too late. The humans had known he was there all along. They had wanted him to hear about Project Starfall. We've been expecting you, Director Chase said with a smile that did not reach her eyes. In fact, we've caught 12 of your spies this month alone. Skatal tried to change form and escape, but something was blocking his powers. Don't bother, Director Chase said. The field we're generating prevents shape-shifting. We've been studying your abilities for decades. As guards surrounded him, Skatal understood the terrible truth. Earth wasn't just a trap for the hegemony's future. The trap had been set long ago, and they had already fallen into it. 1 month after the first meeting with the Galactic Hegemony, Earth launched what they called a ceremonial fleet. Admiral Exithrax watched from his command ship as 20 Earth vessels moved away from their home planet. They claim this is just a celebration of our new friendship, said Commander Farrell. But why do their ships have weapons? Keep watching them, Admiral Exithrax ordered. The Earth fleet moved slowly at first. Then, without warning, the ships split into smaller groups and jumped to faster-than-light speed in different directions. Track them, shouted Admiral Exithrax. Reports soon came in from across hegemony space. Earth ships had appeared near important planets, trade routes, and military bases. They were not attacking, just waiting. What are they doing? Admiral Exithrax wondered. On Earth's main ship, the Defender, Chief Engineer Frank Donovan, sat at a control panel. He was a quiet man who rarely smiled. Around him, other engineers worked at their stations. "All ships report ready, sir," said his assistant. Frank nodded and pressed a button on his console. "Starting activation sequence for Operation Lighthouse." Across hegemony space, small objects began to light up. They had been hiding near planets and space stations for years, waiting for this signal. These were Earth satellites that no alien sensors had detected. On the planet Krith, a local sensor operator noticed something strange on his screen. "Sir, I'm picking up an unknown signal," he reported to his superior. Before they could react, their weapons systems shut down. The same thing happened on 12 other worlds at exactly the same time. Back on Space Station Omega, Admiral Exithrax called an emergency meeting with Ambassador Reyes. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded, his scales now dark blue with anger. "Your ships have positioned themselves throughout our territory. Strange devices are affecting our systems. Is this an invasion?" Ambassador Reyes remained calm. "Not an invasion, Admiral. Just a demonstration." "Of what?" "Of the fact that we could have attacked you at any time over the past 50 years, but chose not to." Admiral Exithrax stared at her in shock. 50 years? That's impossible. We only discovered your world recently." "No, Admiral. You only revealed yourselves to us recently," Rice corrected him. "We detected your first probes in 1947. We've known about the galactic hegemony since then. But that would mean that we've been preparing for this moment for generations." "Yes." Ambassador Reyes stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the stars. "Your mistake was thinking we wouldn't notice you studying us. Humans are naturally suspicious. Admiral, when we found alien devices watching our planet, we didn't announce it. We studied them, learned from them, and followed them back to their source. You've been planning this for decades," Admiral Exithrax said slowly as the truth became clear. "You should have heeded your scouts' warnings about Earth," Reyes replied. "Your own reports called us unpredictable and dangerous. You should have believed them. On dozens of alien worlds, humans who had been living as traders, teachers, and workers suddenly revealed themselves as Earth agents. They took control of key facilities without firing a shot. In the Hegemony Central Archives, a human librarian who had worked there for 15 years locked the doors and began copying the most important files. On the military world of Dulax, a human mechanic disabled the planet's defense grid with a simple device he had built in his home. Admiral Exithrax received panicked messages from across the galaxy. Humans had been everywhere, watching, waiting, learning. "Who are you people?" he asked Ambassador Reyes. "We're survivors, Admiral," she answered. "On Earth, those who don't prepare don't survive. We saw a galaxy full of potential friends and potential threats. So we prepared for both." She handed him a data pad showing thousands of humans working in alien societies. Some had been there for decades. "You never saw us coming," she said quietly. "And that was exactly our plan." 3 days after Earth revealed its true power, the Galactic Council met again. This time, humans were invited to explain themselves. The mood was tense as alien representatives watched the Earth delegation with new eyes. Professor Linda Brown, a human historian with gray hair and kind eyes, stood before the council. Her job was to help the aliens understand why humans were so different. "You must understand where we come from," she said. "Earth is what you would call a death world." She showed images of Earth's many dangers: hurricanes, earthquakes, diseases, and predators. The aliens watched in silence. "Our gravity is higher than most of your home worlds. Our weather can kill in minutes. Our history is filled with wars and struggles for survival," Professor Brown explained. "These challenges shaped humans into what we are today." Next, Major Sophia Dias stepped forward. She was a soldier with short black hair and strong arms. Without warning, she lifted a metal table that would normally need 3 aliens to move. "Human strength is just the beginning," Major Dias said. "Let me show you our combat abilities." On a training mat, she faced 3 alien combat robots. The aliens expected her to lose quickly. Instead, she moved with surprising speed, disabling all 3 robots in less than a minute. "One human soldier can match your best combat machines," Major Diaz said. "And we have millions of soldiers." The council members looked worried now. Dr. Kevin Richards, a scientist with round glasses, spoke next. "Humans have psychological advantages too. We are naturally suspicious. We see patterns where others see nothing. We prepare for threats before they appear." He showed brain scans comparing human and alien minds. "We evolved as pack hunters. We work together against bigger threats. We think differently than you do." Admiral Exithrax stood up. "The trade agreements we signed, did they contain hidden terms we missed?" Ambassador Reyes nodded. "Your legal experts only read the main text. The footnotes gave us access to technologies you thought were secret." "But how?" asked Representative Moof. "Our best minds checked those documents." "Your best minds think like aliens," Reyes replied simply. "Not like humans." Admiral Carol Winters, the commander of Earth's Space Forces, stepped forward next. She was tall with short blonde hair and a serious face. "You estimated Earth had about 200 military ships," she said. "The real number is over 2,000. They've been hiding in asteroid fields and gas clouds, waiting." The council room filled with shocked whispers. Ambassador Krell of the Andorans spoke up. "We tried to warn you all. Humans don't just adapt to their environment. They make the environment adapt to them." "Is this the start of a human empire?" asked a nervous council member. "Will you conquer us now?" Ambassador Reyes shook her head. "If we wanted to conquer you, we would have done it already. We want something else." "What could you possibly want?" Admiral Exithrax asked. "A real alliance," Reyes answered. "One where both sides are honest with each other." At that moment, alarms sounded throughout the station. A young alien officer rushed into the room. "Emergency signals from the outer systems," he reported. "Unknown ships are appearing at the edge of our galaxy." On the main screen, thousands of dark ships unlike any they had seen before appeared. They moved in perfect formation, like hunters closing in on prey. Admiral Winters looked at the screen and then at Ambassador Reyes. They nodded to each other. "This," said Ambassador Reyes to the shocked council, "is the real reason we've been preparing. The real enemy has arrived, just as we predicted." "You knew they were coming?" asked Admiral Exithrax. "We've known for decades," Reyes replied. "Everything we've done was to prepare for this moment. The galactic hegemony wasn't ready to face this threat, so Earth made sure we all would be." Panic spread through the galactic hegemony as news of the unknown fleet reached their worlds. Some alien leaders blamed humans for the new threat. Others demanded immediate action. General Vrek, a tall alien with thick armor-like skin, called together military leaders from 20 worlds. His voice was deep and angry as he addressed them. "Humans have tricked us all," he said. "They made us weak while they grew strong. We cannot trust them now." The other leaders nodded in agreement. "I propose we strike Earth first," General Vrek continued. "A surprise attack while their ships are spread out. We will show them we are not helpless." Without telling the human representatives, General Vrek gathered 300 warships. They jumped to Earth's solar system, ready to attack the human homeworld. But as they approached Earth, a shimmering blue field suddenly appeared around the planet. The alien weapons fired but could not break through the shield. On Earth, in the Global Defense Center, Professor Daniel Morris watched the attack on large screens. He was a quiet man with thick glasses who had spent 20 years studying alien technology. "The shield is holding perfectly," he reported to Earth Command. "The aliens don't understand how we improved their own technology." Next to him, Admiral William Frost nodded with satisfaction. "They thought they were keeping their best shields secret from us. They never realized we made them better." The alien fleet kept firing for 10 minutes with no success. Then Earth's hidden defense platforms emerged from behind the moon. They were smaller than alien weapons, but far more powerful. Warning shots only, Admiral Frost ordered. Show them our strength, but cause no deaths if possible. Earth's weapons fired, disabling 20 alien ships without destroying them. The rest of the alien fleet pulled back in surprise. Meanwhile, on a distant planet called Vera, Lieutenant Commander Heather Jenkins prepared her response. She commanded a small fleet of Earth ships that had been hiding near Vera for years. General Vrek left this sector undefended when he went to attack Earth, she told her officers. Now we move. Her ships quickly secured 7 key planets that General Vrek had left vulnerable. On each world, hidden human agents helped take control of important facilities. Not a single shot was fired. General Vrek received the news as his fleet retreated from Earth. His attack had failed, and now he had lost control of his home territory. Impossible, he shouted. How did they move so quickly? In another part of space, the ancient Hidoth species prepared to use their greatest weapon against Earth. The Hidoth superweapon could destroy an entire planet. They believed humans would not detect it. As they moved the weapon into position, 5 Earth ships suddenly appeared around them. The ships had been there all along, hidden by technology the Hidoth thought was impossible. "This is Captain Ryan Stewart of Earth Defense Forces," came a calm voice over their communication system. "Your weapon has been disabled. Please stand down." The Hidoth leaders were shocked. Their secret weapon was now useless. Back at Space Station Omega, President Laura Matthews of Earth addressed the Galactic Council through a video link. She was an older woman with white hair and a firm voice that commanded respect. "We could have destroyed those who attacked us today," she said. "We chose not to." The council chamber was silent. "Earth has never wanted to destroy the galactic hegemony," President Matthews continued. "If we did, we would have done it years ago." Admiral Exithrax stepped forward. "Then what do you want from us?" "Your attention," President Matthews replied. "The real enemy is at our door, and we have very little time left. Earth has prepared for this day for generations. Now you must decide, will you fight beside us, or continue fighting against us while a greater threat grows stronger?" The council members looked at each other, finally understanding that humans had not been the enemy they should have feared. The true enemy was just beginning to show itself at the edges of their galaxy, and it was coming for them all. 2 days after the failed attack on Earth, Captain Eric Sullivan stood before the Galactic Council. He was a tall man with dark skin and serious eyes. His job was to explain the true reason behind Earth's actions. "For decades, our deep space sensors detected something approaching our galaxy," Captain Sullivan said. "Something large and organized." He showed images of the unknown fleet. The ships were black and shaped like spikes. They moved together like a swarm of insects. "At first, we thought they might be friendly explorers," Captain Sullivan continued. "But then we found this." The screen changed to show a dead galaxy. Where billions of stars should have been, there was only darkness with a few dim lights remaining. This was Galaxy NGC 4889, 2 million light-years away, Captain Sullivan explained. "Our telescopes recorded its destruction over many years. These invaders consumed entire star systems for energy." The council room was completely silent now. Even the most doubtful aliens were paying attention. Dr. Michelle Green stepped forward next. She was a scientist with red hair who specialized in ancient civilizations. 20 years ago, we discovered something on a dead planet near the edge of our galaxy," she said. "It was a warning beacon left by an ancient civilization." She showed images of a strange metal structure covered in symbols. The message warned about invaders that had destroyed many galaxies before. The beacon had been sending this warning for 50,000 years. Admiral Exithrax stood up. "If such a beacon existed, our explorers would have found it." "They did find it," Dr. Green replied. "We found records in your own archives. Your scientists decided it was just an old artifact with no importance. You ignored the warning." The council members looked at each other with new understanding. Humans hadn't been preparing to attack them. Humans had been preparing the galaxy for a threat that hegemony had missed. Ambassador Rice walked to the center of the room. When we learned about this threat, we had a choice. We could warn you directly, but you might not believe us. Or we could prepare quietly, infiltrating your societies to make them stronger from within. You chose deception, Admiral Exithrax said. We chose survival, Rice corrected. For all of us, your technology combined with our innovation is the galaxy's only hope. On the main screen, new images appeared. The invading fleet had destroyed its first hegemony outpost. The alien station had fallen quickly, with no survivors. They will be here in force within 30 days, said Captain Sullivan. Everything we've done, every secret plan, every hidden ship, every agent we placed among you, was to prepare for this moment. Admiral Exithrax looked troubled. You've been fighting a silent war on our behalf, while we saw you as the enemy. Humans are good at seeing threats others miss, Ambassador Rice said. It's how we survived on Earth. We see patterns. We prepare for the worst. In a corner of the room, the ancient Hedith representative clicked its mandibles thoughtfully. Perhaps the old stories were true. The defenders would come from an unexpected place. What stories? Asked Admiral Exithrax. Ancient tales, from the time before the hegemony, the Hedith replied. They spoke of a species that would arise from a violent world, shaped by struggle, naturally suspicious and innovative. They would recognize a threat that peaceful species would miss. All eyes turned to the humans in the room. Is that why the Andorans watched Earth so closely? Admiral Exithrax asked. Did you suspect humans might be these defenders from the old stories? Ambassador Krell of the Andorans nodded slowly. We had our suspicions. Now they are confirmed. On the screen, more black ships appeared at the edge of the galaxy. There were thousands of them now, moving steadily inward. We have very little time, said Ambassador Rice. The real war is about to begin. Will you fight with us, or will you continue to see Earth as the enemy? Admiral Exithrax looked at the approaching fleet, then back at the humans who had spent generations preparing for this moment. Tell us what we need to do, he said. In the week that followed, Earth and the Galactic Hegemony formed an uneasy alliance. Ships from 100 worlds gathered near the edge of the galaxy, preparing to meet the invaders. On Space Station Omega, now serving as the Joint Command Center, Engineer Joseph Harris worked with alien technicians. He was a young man with quick hands and a mind that never stopped thinking of new ideas. Your ships have more power, but our weapons are more precise, he explained to the alien engineers. If we combine them, we can make something better than either. The aliens were surprised by how easily humans understood their technology. What had taken alien scientists years to develop, humans could improve in days. How do you think of these solutions so quickly? Asked an alien engineer. We had to solve problems quickly on Earth or die, Joseph replied simply. It became part of who we are. In another part of the station, Admiral Sharon Taylor worked with alien military leaders to create a unified command structure. She was a middle-aged woman with dark hair streaked with gray and eyes that missed nothing. Each species will command their own ships, she said, but we need one central strategy. Earth has studied these invaders for decades. We know their patterns. Some alien commanders resisted taking orders from humans, but as Admiral Taylor explained her plans, they began to see the wisdom in her strategies. Humans understand predators because we were both prey and predator on our world, she told them. We know how they think. 3 days later, the first wave of the invasion arrived. 500 black spike-shaped ships entered hegemony space, heading toward populated worlds. The combined fleet of Earth and hegemony ships waited in formation. Admiral Taylor stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Unity. They expect a divided galaxy, she said to her officers. They expect easy targets. Let's show them how wrong they are. The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. The invaders were strong but surprised by the organized resistance. They had expected to find separate alien nations fighting among themselves, not a unified force. Earth ships used tactics the invaders had never seen, moving in ways that seemed random but were actually carefully planned. Alien vessels provided power and shields that human ships could never match. Together, they were stronger than either would have been alone. After 6 hours of fighting, the first wave of invaders retreated. They had lost nearly half their ships, while the combined Earth hegemony fleet had lost only 20. On Space Station Omega, celebrations began, but Admiral Taylor quieted them quickly. "This was just the first wave," she warned. "Their main fleet is still coming. This was only a test of our strength." The alien leaders realized she was right. The real battle had not yet begun. In a quiet observation room overlooking the stars, Ambassador Reyes and Admiral Exithrax stood side by side. Through the window, they could see thousands of ships from both human and alien worlds gathering for the war to come. "If you had told me 1 month ago that we would be fighting beside humans against a common enemy, I would not have believed it," Admiral Exithrax said. "Life is full of surprises," Ambassador Reyes replied, "especially when humans are involved." "You deceived us all," Exithrax said, but there was no anger in his voice now. "And by doing so, save you all," Reyes answered. "That's the human way." She turned to look at the stars, where the main invasion fleet would soon appear. "We prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. We see threats others miss. We adapt when others cannot." "And now?" asked Admiral Exithrax. "Now we do what humans have always done when facing impossible odds," Ambassador Reyes said with quiet confidence. "We fight, we survive, and we win." Around them, the combined might of Earth and the Galactic hegemony prepared for the greatest battle in the history of the galaxy. The invaders thought they had found an easy target. Instead, they had found a trap, a galaxy united and ready, thanks to the humans everyone had underestimated. The real war was just beginning, but for the first time, there was hope that it might be won.